Imagine if everything you knew about history was a lie. Welcome to the phantom time hypothesis. What if the timeline of our past has been altered, and we have been living in a fabricated version of history? This theory suggests that a significant portion of the early Middle Ages never happened, and that we are living in the 18th century, not the 21st. If you find this intriguing, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel for more fascinating content. Now let's dive into the historical necessity that led to the creation of our modern calendar. Throughout history, humans have sought to understand and measure time. This fundamental desire led to the development of calendars. Calendars mark the passage of time, allowing us to track seasons, celebrate events, and organize our lives. Early calendars were often based on lunar cycles. These lunar calendars did not align perfectly with the solar year. This mismatch caused problems for agricultural societies. The Julian calendar, introduced by Julius Caesar, aimed to address this issue. The Julian calendar, implemented in 45 BC, was a solar calendar. It was more accurate than previous lunar calendars, but it still had a minor flaw. The Julian calendar assumed that the Earth takes precisely 365.25 days to orbit the Sun. This assumption, while close, was slightly off. The actual length of a solar year is approximately 365.2422 days. This small difference, accumulating over centuries, had significant consequences. By the 16th century, the Julian calendar had drifted out of sync with the solar year by about 10 days. This discrepancy meant that calendar events no longer aligned with the seasons. The spring equinox, for example, was occurring 10 days earlier than it should. This discrepancy posed problems for agriculture, religious observances, and even navigation. A solution was needed. It was time for a new calendar, one that could accurately reflect the true length of a solar year and prevent further drift. This solution came in the form of the Gregorian calendar, a reform of the Julian calendar that aimed to realign time with the cosmos. In 1582, Pope Gregory XIII introduced a new calendar, the Gregorian calendar. This calendar, named after the Pope, was designed to correct the errors that had crept into the Julian calendar over the centuries. The primary goal was to realign the calendar with the solar year. To do this, Pope Gregory XIII ordered the removal of 10 days from the calendar. October 4, 1582, was immediately followed by October 15, 1582. This change, although abrupt, brought the calendar back in sync with the seasons. To prevent future drift, the Gregorian calendar also adjusted the leap year rule. Under the Julian calendar, a leap year occurred every 4 years. The Gregorian calendar introduced a slight modification. Years divisible by 100 would only be leap years if they were also divisible by 400. This change accounted for the extra fraction of a day in a solar year, preventing future discrepancies. The adoption of the Gregorian calendar was not without its challenges. Some countries resisted the change, clinging to the familiar Julian calendar for centuries. Others adopted the new system gradually, leading to temporary discrepancies in dates and historical records. Despite these initial challenges, the Gregorian calendar proved to be a more accurate and consistent system for measuring time. Today, it is the most widely used calendar worldwide. However, the transition from the Julian to the Gregorian calendar, with its missing days and leap year adjustments, has sparked debate and speculation. Some have questioned the accuracy of this chronological shift, leading to alternative theories about the true nature of time and history. One such theory, known as the phantom time hypothesis, proposes a radical and controversial interpretation of this historical period. The phantom time hypothesis is an intriguing, albeit controversial theory that challenges the accepted chronology of history. Proposed by Heribert Illig, a German historian and publisher, this hypothesis suggests that a significant portion of the early Middle Ages, specifically the years 614 to 911 AD, never actually happened. Illig argues that these 297 years are a fabrication, a deliberate insertion into the historical timeline. His theory, while fascinating, has been met with skepticism and outright rejection from mainstream historians and scientists. To understand why, we must delve into the details of Illig's claims and the evidence he presents to support his hypothesis. The phantom time hypothesis, with its bold assertions about fabricated centuries, challenges our fundamental understanding of history and chronology. Heribert Illig's phantom time hypothesis hinges on the belief that the years 614 to 911 AD were manufactured and inserted into the historical timeline. This period, encompassing nearly 3 centuries, is conspicuously devoid of significant historical events according to Illig. He points to a perceived scarcity of archaeological evidence and a lack of significant cultural or technological advancements during this era. Illig argues that this absence of historical markers suggests a deliberate fabrication. He posits that this fabrication was orchestrated by powerful figures who sought to legitimize their rule and place themselves at pivotal points in history. According to Illig, Holy Roman Emperor Otto III, Pope Sylvester II, and Byzantine Emperor Constantine VII conspired to rewrite history. Their goal was to position Otto III as the ruler at the dawn of the year 1000 AD, a symbolically significant date. Illig suggests that these rulers, with the help of complicit chroniclers, fabricated historical events, genealogies and documents to create the illusion of a longer past. This manufactured history, according to Illig, served to bolster their claims to power and solidify their legacies. While intriguing, Illig's theory rests on a selective interpretation of historical evidence and fails to account for the wealth of scientific and archaeological data that contradicts his claims. Section 5. William Willett's 11-day dance marathon. The transition from the Julian to the Gregorian calendar with its removal of 10 days in October 1582 wasn't without its share of confusion and bewilderment. People struggled to grasp the concept of missing days and the implications for their daily lives. This confusion led to humorous anecdotes and stories, one of which centers on a man named William Willett. While the historical accuracy of this tale is debatable, it highlights the public's reaction to the calendar change. Legend has it that William, upon learning about the Gregorian calendar's implementation, made an outlandish bet. He wagered that he could dance for 11 days and nights straight, capitalizing on the lost days. His friends, amused by the proposition, eagerly accepted the wager. What followed was a legendary feat of endurance, or perhaps a clever manipulation of the calendar. William, true to his word, danced for 11 consecutive days, stopping only when the calendar caught up with his feet. His friends, astounded by his stamina, and perhaps a little bewildered by the calendar's quirks, conceded defeat. While the story of William Willett's dance marathon may be more folklore than fact, it underscores the very real confusion and amusement surrounding the Gregorian calendar's adoption. Section 6. Debunking the phantom scientific evidence speaks. While the phantom time hypothesis is an intriguing thought experiment, it faces a formidable hurdle: scientific evidence. Numerous scientific dating methods and historical records directly contradict Illig's claims of a fabricated period. Carbon dating, a method used to determine the age of organic materials, provides a consistent and reliable timeline that aligns with the accepted chronology. Tree ring analysis, or dendrochronology, offers another layer of confirmation. Trees produce annual growth rings, creating a natural record of time. Tree ring sequences from different locations and species overlap and extend back thousands of years, providing a continuous and verifiable timeline that refutes the idea of missing centuries. Furthermore, astronomical observations recorded by ancient civilizations corroborate the existing historical timeline. Eclipses, planetary conjunctions and other celestial events can be calculated and dated with precision. These astronomical records align with the accepted chronology, casting further doubt on the phantom time hypothesis. Section 7. The implications for Islamic history. The phantom time hypothesis, if true, would have profound implications for Islamic history. The Islamic calendar, a lunar calendar, diverges from the Gregorian calendar. However, key events in Islamic history are dated in relation to both calendars. Illig's proposed removal of 297 years from the 7th, 8th, and 9th centuries AD would directly contradict the established chronology of early Islamic history. The life of the Prophet Muhammad, the founding of Mecca, and the subsequent spread of Islam are all firmly rooted in this period. Removing these centuries would create an irreconcilable gap in the historical narrative, challenging the very foundations of Islamic history and tradition. The phantom time hypothesis, in its attempt to rewrite history, fails to account for the rich and well-documented history of Islam and its impact on the world. This discrepancy highlights the importance of rigorous historical analysis and the need to consider the interconnectedness of different cultures and chronologies. Section 8. The importance of factual accuracy. The phantom time hypothesis, while intriguing, underscores the importance of factual accuracy in historical discourse. History as a discipline relies on evidence-based research and critical analysis. While alternative interpretations and theories can enrich our understanding of the past, they must be grounded in verifiable facts and rigorous scholarship. The phantom time hypothesis, with its lack of credible evidence and its reliance on speculation, serves as a cautionary tale. It reminds us of the dangers of accepting historical narratives without scrutiny and the importance of relying on reputable sources and scientific methods. Factual accuracy is not merely an academic pursuit, it forms the foundation of our shared understanding of the past. It is through accurate and reliable historical accounts that we can learn from past mistakes, appreciate the complexities of human civilization, and build a more informed future. Section 9. Conclusion. The enduring fascination with time. The phantom time hypothesis, despite its lack of scientific or historical support, highlights our enduring fascination with time. Calendars, as tools for measuring and organizing time, hold a profound influence over our lives. They shape our perception of history, our understanding of the cosmos, and our daily routines. The Gregorian calendar, while an imperfect system, represents humanity's ongoing quest to accurately measure and comprehend the passage of time. While the phantom time hypothesis may not withstand scrutiny, it serves as a reminder that history is not a static, unchanging narrative. New discoveries, reinterpretations, and even outlandish theories challenge us to re-examine our assumptions about the past and to approach historical inquiry with a critical and discerning eye. As we continue to explore the mysteries of time and history, it is essential to ground our inquiries in evidence, logic, and a commitment to factual accuracy.